When we first see King River, he doesn't have his staff, but a moment later, it appears in his hand, only to disappear again shortly after. Marco moves his pencil to the top of the sheet of paper, but in the next shot, the pencil is already outside the page. When Star conjures her flaming rainbow, it is shown at the background of school lockers and is taller than Star. In the next shot, the rainbow barely reaches her waist and is rotated 90 degrees. Additionally, the background from the first shot completely changes, with at least 10 lockers reduced to 5. The doors on the right side completely vanish, as well as the row of windows above. When Buff Frog enters Ludo's castle through the portal, there is a sewer pipe near his left foot, but it's gone in the next shot. When Star conjures her entire room inside Marco's house, initially, her bed is empty, but in the next scene, a purple heart and a mace lie on it. When Marco, frustrated with Star, jumps out of the window and falls into a cactus, the cactus isn't attached to his left foot, but in the next scene, it is, and Marco has to shake it off. During the fight between Marco and Star against Ludo's monsters, at the beginning, Marco defeats the warthog monster and knocks it down, but in the following shots, the monster suddenly disappears. Star strikes the giraffe monster and slams it through a nearby car, but later, the car is no longer there. When Star, Marco, and Ponyhead take photos in a photo booth, on one of the pictures, the pupil of Ponyhead is heart-shaped instead of the usual star shape. During their duel in the game Lance Revolution, Marco's character wields a red lance, and Ponyhead's character wields a blue lance, even though they are actually holding lances in opposite colors. During the chase, when Ponyhead hits those square characters, 5 of them fly up, but only 4 land on the ground. When Jackie Lynn Thomas rides her skateboard next to Star and Marco, the blue strand in her hair disappears halfway through. During the sword fight sequence, Emmett's sword disappears and reappears several times. It's not there at the beginning. It's there now. Then it's gone again. And then it's back. When Sabrina is about to perform a flip, the stripe on her uniform starts beneath her right shoulder and goes down towards the left side. Just before the jump, in literally 8 frames, it changes, and the stripe begins beneath her left shoulder, going down to the right. Later, it returns to its original state, but not for long. A moment later, when Star says,
"Do you know nothing of combat? No warrior is gonna be distracted by Chantel's booty." What?
The stripe on Chantal's uniform disappears. A similar thing happens later on the field. When the cheering squad turns around, only Brittany's uniform retains the stripe. Towards the end of the episode, as Sabrina flees on a wheelchair, of course she's on a wheelchair thanks to Star. The letters ECA, representing Echo Creek Academy, are missing from the stripe on her uniform. When Marco breaks his arm in the first shot on his cast, there's Star's signature and a few of her drawings, but they're gone in the next shot. When Marco shows off his monster hand at school, a blue strand passes through Jackie Lynn Thomas's eye, turning it blue. When after many attempts Star finally manages to conjure a healed hand for Marco, the hand has 5 fingers instead of 4, like all the characters in the cartoon. During the fight at the dojo between Marco and Jeremy, at first Marco stands right by the wall with the audience on his right side. But in the next shot, he's in the middle with the audience on the left. Essentially, he swaps places with Jeremy, noticeable by looking at the same doors, scrolls on the wall, or this spiked murderous thing. When Star sleeps in the audience after a sleepless night, for a moment in a wider shot, we see her fully aware of what's happening, and even terrified. And finally, in the last few scenes, Star's bracelet appears and disappears at random moments. It's not here. Then it's here. It's still here. And now it's gone again.